DNA, which is the genetic material. So in the slide you can see the section of a cell, and it is very common. Generally the cell having a nucleus which is called the life of cell, and the nucleus having the nucleoplasm, nucleolus and nuclear fiber. So these nuclear fibers are basically known as chromatin fibers. So in the zoom diagram you can see the nucleolus, and the nucleolus contain the chromatin fibers, and each chromosome is made up of DNA and histone protein. So the cell, chromosome and DNA. Now here you can see that the portion of nucleus is found, and the chromosomes are also found, which are bluish in color. Now the interphase chromosome, that is, interphase is a stage where the resting of the cell occur, that is, before division the cell prepare for division. So the interphase chromosome, we can see the higher order chromatin folding, and see here the loops of 30 nm fiber associated with chromosome scaffold. So if we enlarge it, we can see the 30 nm fiber, so the beads on a string. So when we enlarge it, we can find actually these are look like the beads on a string. Then the simple DNA sequence you can see, which contain plenty of genes. The million base pairs form the DNA, and we can see the gene families, then single copy genes, introns, which are the part of DNA, and spacer DNA. Okay. Now, what's so special about DNA? Basically, DNA is one of the most boring macromolecules imaginable. It's made of only 4 building blocks. So sometimes we cannot understand whether the DNA is actually present or not. But it is actually present, and it carries all the genetic information. It is a macromolecule, that is a huge molecule. DNA just sits. It doesn't catalyze reactions or build the cell or organism. Just DNA is present. But if your cell is devoid of DNA, you have devoid many genes. The next query can be that how can DNA store and copy information? So it sit idly. It cannot associated with any kind of like formation of organelles, etc. So what's good about it? So DNA's ability to store and copy information is the main thing which make it a very important molecule, macromolecule. Okay. So how can DNA store and copy information? So we know that the DNA having the information, all the information and all the characteristics, whether it is visible or invisible characteristics, these all are actually coded by DNA. So how they do that? How can DNA store and copy information? Key properties that allow these neat tricks are that DNA, why? Because it is double-stranded, it held together by complementary bases that pair through simple rules. So DNA is also capable of occasional change, and occasionally change is also good. Now see the DNA overview. So DNA is made up of basically 4 bases. 2 are purine, 2 are pyrimidine in nature. So this is a double-stranded structure. 2 strands are present. Next, see that DNA is almost always wrapped around proteins, and the first structure I have also shown you before, that the bead like structure, and these are the histone proteins, the chromatin which having DNA and histone protein, and these histone proteins are very important, and basically DNA is wrapped around the histone proteins. Now I will show you the sequence of nucleotides present in the DNA. So the different colors have shown, one is 5 prime and another end is 3 prime. So the C is red in color, that is cytosine, G is green in color, that is guanine, A is bluish in color, that is adenine, and T is yellow in color, that is thymine. In DNA the thymine is present, but in case of RNA the thymine is replaced by uracil. Now, who developed DNA? So this is the arrangement. You can see that how the bases are joined together and how the two strings are also joined together. So the strings are joined together by a weak bond, which is hydrogen bond, but the nucleotides with another are joined by phosphodiester, this bond. Now, who developed DNA, or who discovered the structure? So Watson and Crick, and it is more than 53 years ago. They are the Nobel winners of the race to learn DNA's structure. Okay. So in the identification of DNA structure, what are the things are done? That is discovery of DNA by X-ray diffraction technology. So Watson and Crick, the American graduate students and the British biochemist who correctly explained the structure of DNA. The scientists, as they appeared in 1952 when the structure of DNA was formulated. So these are the photographs. Okay. So this is a very basic introduction of the DNA structure. In our next video, I will go through the detailed information regarding the structure of DNA, the nucleotides, how it is constituted, how the replications occur. So wait for the next video. Till then, bye bye.